The 4th of November is a national day of mourning in Hungary. We commemorate the breaking down of the 1956 revolution and War of Independence and the victims. The Soviet invasion sealed the fate of the revolution when military occupation began in the entire area of Hungary. On this day, exactly 61 years ago, Hungary's national flag was hoisted and set to half-mast on Kossuth Square on Saturday, and commemorations were held throughout the country.
Kérek engedélyt, november 4-e.
The state commemoration began with military honors on the occasion of the 61st anniversary of the suppression of the 1956 Hungarian Revolution and freedom fight. In the presence of President János Áder, the Hungarian flag was hoisted while the national anthem of Hungary played and was later raised to half-mast for the sounds of the szózat, regarded as the second national anthem by many. It reminded, like that all throughout the day, as a symbol of mourning. The commemoration continued by parcel number 301 at the cemetery of Rákoskeresztúr, where former Prime Minister Péter Boros, who's also the president of the Public Foundation for Freedom Fighters, said there's no other country or nation that would have taken up arms for freedom with almost no hope and chance at victory as many times as the Hungarians did.
Ennek emlékezetét kell.
The notion we must teach for the next generation is that each individual has a mission of spreading such characteristics combined with a touch experience. We can only count on ourselves, said Péter Boros. Wreaths of remembrance were placed one after the other during the central commemoration that was held this year at the memorial of the 1956 revolution at Hargitai Square in the 18th district. Heroes' Wall was also covered by flowers and candles on the National Day of Mourning. People taking part in the commemoration were constantly coming to the House of Terror Museum. We thought we would stop by to light a candle in memory of the fallen heroes, said one of the visitors. Gyulane Mikes has been coming here on the 4th of November every year in order to show her appreciation for the victims of the 1956 revolution. I expressed my gratitude. I brought candles for Ilonka Tóth and Péter Mansfeld. I caressed their pictures and told them to rest in peace. I'm grateful for all those in the pictures. I hope all of them shall rest in peace, said Gyulane Mikes. On the 4th of November is the day when the revolution was violently suppressed by invading Soviet troops. It was proclaimed as a national day of mourning by the government in 2013 as we remember those who sacrificed their lives for Hungary in 1956.
On the 4th of November in 1956, the Soviet army launched an invasion to quell the revolution and defeat the Imre Nagy government that wanted to leave the socialist bloc. The attack of the Red Army triggered desperate armed resistance by freedom fighters in Budapest and in many parts of the country.
It was in 1956, November 4, at exactly 5:20 in the morning when Prime Minister Imre Nagy held his famous radio address. In the early hours of the morning, the Soviet army had invaded Hungary to violently end the revolution, which broke out on the 23rd of October. Károly Csürke from Budapest found out what was happening by listening to Imre Nagy's radio speech. I woke up and heard Imre Nagy's radio address. I quickly grabbed my gun, got dressed and ran across the square, he recalled. Antal Cukor was in Pécs when the revolution broke out. He joined the freedom fighters. They happened to be the last ones to put down their weapons. Those who were found to have taken part in the revolution were detained and sentenced. Communist militiamen were going around the country in their vans, taking people, beating them half dead. The retaliation was horrible, said Antal Cukor. The Soviets had called upon the Hungarian military staff, including Pál Maléter, for a meeting in Tököl on the 3rd of November. The wife of the Marshal defense minister waited for him in vain. I begged him in tears not to go. That's when he said those famous words, which are now well known. His words were, "Listen here, right now, wives and families do not matter. I have to go now, even if it costs me my life, because an entire nation is waiting for help." He left at the cost of his life, said Judé Pálné Maléter. The period of the retribution is researched, among others, by a historian from the Committee of National Remembrance. They are searching for the personas of the retribution machine, those people taking part in the trials and the unknown heroes who took part in the revolution of 1956. They plan to set up a database which will include the names of all those people who and what they were charged with after the 4th of November in 1956.